Welcome to a brand new coaster countdown. Today we have top 10 roller coasters at Lagoon Park. This is in Farmington, Utah, just north of Salt Lake City. And so we're going to be talking about their 10 best roller coasters. Now what's interesting about Lagoon is that they have a lot of family coasters. Over half of the coasters in their lineup are geared towards kids and parents of those kids. So we really don't get to the super thrilling coasters till later in the video. But let's kick things off with our number 10 coaster, which is of course the kiddie coaster. It's called Puff the Little Fire Dragon. It's just this cute little kids ride. Not really a whole lot to it, goes around a couple times. It's meant for the kids. Moving on, we have number 9, which is the Bat. This is a Vekoma suspended roller coaster. And if you've ridden Flying Ace Aerial Chase at Kings Island or Carowinds, then you know what this experience is like because it is an exact replica of those same exact layout. It does have kind of a cool theme, but I gotta say, these aren't exactly the greatest family rides. On paper, they look like solid additions, but they really live up to the nickname of Hangin' Bangs. They're pretty shaky rides. That's why it's coming in at number 9. Next up, we have our Wild Mouse, number 8. And this Wild Mouse is actually literally named Wild Mouse. And if you've ridden any Wild Mouse coaster, doesn't matter what manufacturer, then you know what this is like. It's just a bunch of these 180-degree turns, tons of switchbacks. Not really a whole lot to it. It's kind of a standard family ride. So that's why it's taking our number 8 spot. And at number 7, we have Jetstar 2. This is a Schwarzkopf bobsled style coaster. I'd say closest thing to compare it to if you haven't ridden this would probably be Whizzer at Six Flags Great America. If you've ridden that, then you kind of know what this experience is like. This definitely has more of a compact layout. Got a couple helixes in there. So it's definitely not a bad coaster, but it is, again, geared towards the families. And at number 6, we have BOMBORA, and this coaster surprised me. This is a solid family coaster. It really doesn't look like much, but it's pretty fun, I'll say that. It pretty much just winds around in a couple of turns, but this is a great family coaster, I gotta say that. Doesn't take up too much space, the trains are comfy, and it doesn't have a bad layout at all. So now we are at our top 5. Taking the number 5 spot is Spider. This is a spinning coaster, and I've ridden 2 other kinds exactly like this. Laugh Track at Hershey Park and Undertow at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And I gotta say, between those 3, this one is the craziest. Those other 2 have some solid spinning going around here, but this was insane. This has some of the wildest spinning I've ever seen on a roller coaster. If this thing is spinning at full speed, then I would say that this is the craziest ride in the park. I was super surprised by it. It was not what I expected at all. I expected just a mild spinning coaster like the Pandemoniums. This was crazy. I don't know if it runs like that all the time, but if it's running like when I rode it, then yeah, this is a crazy spinning coaster. Taking our number 4 spot is Roller Coaster, and yes, it is named Roller Coaster. The locals will refer to it as the White Roller Coaster, and this is the oldest coaster in the park. It's a true classic. A lot of the GP who go here consider it sketchy just because of how old it is, but I don't think it's sketchy. Actually, it's not a bad coaster at all. It gives you some solid airtime. If you know where to sit, then it's not that rough. This has some nice floater airtime hills. There's a double up and a double down in this thing. It's certainly a parking lot coaster. You can park right next to it, but it's not a bad roller coaster at all. Definitely something that you have to ride when you come to Lagoon. So now we're at our top 3, and this is when we get into the thrilling coasters. Taking our 3rd spot is Wicked. This is a Zyre Tower coaster that launches you straight up. You plummet down vertically. You go through a single inversion, several bank turns. A lot of people are going to compare these to Gerstlauer Eurofighters, and it definitely kind of has that feel to it. My main complaint is that I don't like how the restraints really suck the life out of your legs. That kind of prevents you from lifting up out of your seat, getting any weightlessness. So that's probably my main issue with it. So that's why it's taking our 3rd spot. And at number 2, we have Colossus the Fire Dragon, a very fun Schwarzkopf looper. If you've ridden one of these things, you know that these inversions are powerful. The layout is super cool. It's got lots of these helixes where you're low to the ground, tons of bank turns. Of course, you have those 2 iconic vertical loops, which are very circular. They don't follow that teardrop shapes that you have with most B&M loops. It's definitely a cool ride, has its intense moments. So that is why I prefer it over Wicked, and that is why I've put it at the number 2 spot. So what could number 1 be? I think you all know this shouldn't surprise anyone. It's CANNIBAL, Lagoon's newest roller coaster, and it is absolutely insane. This is the steepest roller coaster in America. 116-degree descent over 200 feet in the air. This is a wild ride. The drop is insane. The inversions are insane. It has this lagoon roll at the very end where you get this crazy hang time. It's smooth. What more could you want in a roller coaster? I absolutely love this ride. It's a favorite of mine. And if you want to hear more thoughts on it, I have a review on my channel that goes way more in depth than I do in this countdown. But those are my top 10 roller coasters at Lagoon. Overall, I do like this park. They have a nice collection of rides. It would be nice to see more thrilling coasters there. They have plenty of family rides. A few more thrilling coasters would really kind of round it all out. But I want to hear from you what your favorite rides are at this park. Let me know if you've been here or if you want to go here or what you think of these rides. Post all those thoughts in the comment section below, and of course you can stay tuned for more coaster countdowns coming soon to Coaster Studios.